Hi there, I'm Sam from EasyTradingSignals.com, and today we're going to take a look at Keltner channels and RSI and how you can use them in your trading to see some pretty good setups before they happen, and then take advantage of the often big moves that happen when you see divergence. So the reason why I use Keltner channels is because I've often found them to be easier to read in terms of when something is at an extreme, whereas Bollinger Bands often signal a lot, which can be good in some cases, but in this particular case I prefer Keltner channels. So here I have it set up. I'll quickly show you what I have it set up as. I've got it set at a length of 9 with a multiplier of 2. True range set to active, exponential and source closed. And if I turn that off or just hide it for a bit and I turn on traditional Bollinger Bands, you will see immediately that you get a different sort of crossing of the lines with the Bollinger, and even when you fiddle with the settings somewhat, let's say if I take this back down to 9 as well, you'll still see that you often get signals where I don't necessarily want them. Now it's good for other strategies, but in this particular case I'm going to turn off Bollinger, turn on Keltner channels. That is just a little bit cleaner and easier to read. So this is what you do with this strategy. You're basically going to look for when the Keltner channels touches price, and then together with that you're going to look at your RSI, and this RSI is a simple basic RSI set to 14, no special setups or anything like that. So it's a Keltner channel set to 9 and RSI set to 14. And what we're going to look for is basically cases where we have higher or low lows, in other words peaks, even if they are the same, like in this case here. And then we're going to look at the RSI and see if RSI moved higher or lower for that same peak. So right now, for instance, I want you to focus on the RSI. I'm actually just going to grab it like that. So here we have a double bottom for USG, JPI. Why? This could be anything. It really works for anything. It's in 5 minutes. It works on pretty much everything. So here we have a double bottom, right, on the RSI. Look at what's going on over here with the RSI at the same time. We actually have the RSI higher. So you're going to first look at a double bottom. So we have nice little signals here, dojis and shooting stars, and basically a hammer typing formation, or a doji. Often signifies at the bottom like this, especially when you touched something like a Keltner channel, that you are at an extreme. And then when you see this happening on the RSI, you know that you have a good chance of things moving up. And here we have exactly that. If I undo my drawings, you'll see over here you actually have a level that's being retested by this candle. And that would be a great place to enter the trade in terms of what we're looking at for profitability. So if we entered there, I would have exited somewhere here because you see it touching and it opens up inside, so there's a good chance that it might fall back down. Your risk reward would really have been probably just below there. So that's a good that's a good 16 point move right there, or pip move right there, and your risk to reward is really very good in terms of this, 2.89. So, you know, 1 to 3 ratio, that is really pretty awesome. So let's move on and try and find another one, shall we? So actually we have another small one right here. You got a high popping out over there, and then this where it touches the Keltner channel as well, and you can see that it's actually slightly lower. So you do have this little move down here. Once it started going sideways like that, you should have just exited. So that would have been a nice little trade. So let's go hunting for something else. Right, so here we have another little one. So what you're looking at here is a little pivot point where it touches, very almost touches the Keltner channel, and then here we have another a little hammer type of formation inside, and then you can see at the same time we have the RSI heading much higher, even though here, oops, skew, but you get the point right there. This is lower, right? The RSI is higher, and you do in fact get a nice little pop up there. So let's see if we can find anything else here that looks interesting. Let's pop over to the 15 minutes just so I can show you what the different times look like. Okay, so we have, you know, one there, but here we have RSI also moving higher, so that's not what we're looking for. This looks interesting. So over here we have a whole bunch of touches, and in fact over here you can see RSI moving higher, so this would be a candidate. So here, and you have your little corresponding RSI move over there, and then over here you can see that this is moving up higher. RSI is moving higher over here, so that would have been a nice little push up as well. Let's move back some more. Oh, here's a nice one. So here's another little one. It's close to the Keltner channel, so yes, it doesn't touch quite, but it's still quite a significant move over here on the RSI, because we can see it actually going right into oversold territory. And over here we have a slightly lower level, nice little hammer formation, and definitely higher on RSI, and you can actually see it sustains that. So would have been a great spot to jump in. So let's say if you did in fact do that, you probably would have jumped in somewhere around about here, and you'd probably gotten out somewhere around there. Once you see, I've seen that hammer formation over there, and that would have been a good place to stop as well, actually. So let's just move across and see. All right, so that's not bad at all. A very good, nice little ratio as well in terms of winning trades. So I think you basically get the idea. This is it's actually kind of fun to look for, and it's not very difficult to spot. And once you start spotting them, you'll see that it becomes easier to actually pick up on them. And you're really just looking for this touch or break of the Keltner, RSI in overbought or oversold territory, and then you're looking for your second peak or valley, and you're looking for the RSI to be significantly higher. And as soon as you get that, you can then just go for a trade, and the number of times that it works out is just incredible. And you pretty much everywhere, every time you see this type of move, you get really good trades out of it. And you'll also notice here that the Keltner channels are actually quite useful in terms of spotting when you are at an extreme and then taking advantage of that as well. And it signals less often than your Bollinger. I find that more useful in terms of if you're trading and you quickly want to see what's happening. It's often easier to look for something like this that is relatively obvious than trying to hunt for something that's a bit more difficult to find. So hey, I hope that this helped you. Simple setup with the RSI and Keltner channels, and hope that helps you in trading. If you like that, please like and subscribe, and check out our site easytradingsignals.com for a whole bunch more on indicators, news and so forth. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.